There are relationships that seem to transcend the ordinary. We've all felt it, a pull towards someone that's not merely based on superficial attraction or convenience. This force, this undeniable connection, often feels like it's beyond us, beyond our conscious understanding. But let us pause and reflect for a moment on a deeper truth. What if the connection you feel is not a random event at all? What if it's not a coincidence? What if it's part of a divine plan, a grand orchestration that's been unfolding long before either of you were born? You see, there are bonds in this world that are meant to happen, that are not to be forced nor to be ignored. These connections are not born from chance, but from the very fabric of the universe, woven together by the hands of time, destiny, and perhaps something greater. They are divine unions, two souls, destined to meet, to grow together, and ultimately to unite as one. They come into your life at the right moment, not before, not too late, but precisely when they are needed. It's as if the universe, or God, has quietly whispered to you, this is your person. It's easy to get swept up in the idea of love that we often see in films or read about in books. We romanticize it, placing expectations on how it should look, when it should happen, and the way it should make us feel. But the truth of these divine unions is far more profound. They are not about surface-level experiences or fleeting emotions. They are built on something far stronger and more enduring, a soul-level connection, and a mind that runs deeper than we can imagine. When you meet this person, it doesn't always feel like fireworks or dramatic moments. No, sometimes it feels quieter, subtler. There's a peace in knowing that this is someone you're meant to walk alongside for the rest of your life. There's an inexplicable understanding between the two of you, as though you've known each other far longer than your time together would suggest. There are no accidents in this connection, no coincidences. You were always meant to cross paths, to find one another. This divine bond is not just a romantic notion. It's a truth that resonates deeply within us. We are all born with a purpose, with a set of unique experiences that will shape our lives and bring us closer to the truth of who we are. And sometimes that purpose involves meeting another soul who complements us in ways we can't predict. This person is not simply someone who makes us happy or fulfills a need. No, they are someone who reflects who we are at the deepest level, someone who will walk beside us on the journey towards self-discovery and growth. Now, one might ask, why does it happen this way? Why do we meet certain people at certain times, and how do we know that this is the right person? The answer lies in the understanding that the universe has a way of guiding us, of bringing us exactly what we need, exactly when we need it. This isn't random, it's intentional. Just as the tides of the ocean move in their eternal rhythm, there is a divine timing to all of life's events. Our paths are being guided, subtly and perfectly, to bring us to this moment, this person, and this connection. But it's not always an easy thing to recognize. In our busy lives, we are constantly pulled in different directions, distracted by external forces that don't always align with our true selves. We might even question the connection when it arises. Why now? What does this mean for me? These questions are natural, but they are also a reflection of our own uncertainty. We resist because we don't fully trust the process. Yet the beauty of a divine union is that it asks us to trust. It asks us to let go of our rigid ideas of control and allow ourselves to surrender to something greater than us. It's about embracing the unknown, understanding that the journey is as important as the destination. And sometimes that journey begins when you least expect it, when you stop searching and simply allow the universe to reveal what it has planned for you. There is something truly sacred about being in the presence of someone who is meant to be part of your life. You don't have to force it. You don't have to struggle to make it fit. It just is. There's a sense of peace, a quiet, knowing that this connection was always meant to happen. And as you walk through life together, you will see the layers of this bond unfold in ways that you never anticipated. So when you meet that person, don't question it. Don't wonder if it's too good to be true or whether you deserve it. Understand that this is a gift from the universe. This is the person who will walk with you on your path, who will challenge you to grow, who will be your mirror, showing you parts of yourself that you didn't even know existed. And in doing so, they will help you unlock the greatest potential of who you are meant to be. And so you come together not by accident, but by divine design. You are not just two individuals who happen to be in the same place at the same time. No, you are two souls who have been aligned through the wisdom of the universe, each of you a piece of a greater puzzle, coming together to create something beautiful. You are meant for each other. And that is a truth that will echo throughout your life, guiding you both toward a greater, more meaningful connection. In the end, you will realize you didn't find them by chance. They were always meant to be a part of your journey. And that, my friends, is the beauty of the divine union. As you journey through life, there are moments when you might look around and wonder about the connections you make with people. Some are fleeting, others profound, but there are certain relationships, certain bonds that feel destined beyond your control, beyond your understanding. These are the connections that you might try to explain away, yet you simply cannot. They are not of your making, and they defy logic, because they come from a deeper place, a place that perhaps even your mind cannot fully grasp. In the tapestry of life, some threads are woven together by fate, by the invisible hand that guides us. It's as if the universe, in its vast wisdom, brings two people together not merely by chance, but by a divine plan that is more intricate than we can ever truly know. It is in this coming together that the real magic happens, two souls connecting, finding each other through the vastness of time, space, and circumstances, not by coincidence, but because they were all always meant to meet. There's a quiet power in the recognition of this truth, a subtle realization that something greater is at play. When you meet this person, you may not immediately understand the full scope of what is happening, but you will feel it. It's not just chemistry, not just attraction. It's something deeper, something that goes beyond the surface. It's as if this person is a reflection of your true self or a mirror to your soul. And the more you allow yourself to truly experience this connection, the more you begin to realize that you are not two separate individuals, but two parts of a greater whole. It is in this coming together, this recognition of each other, that you find a kind of foulness. What I want you to understand is this: the bond that forms when two people are truly meant to be together is not fragile or circumstantial. It doesn't rely on the fleeting nature of feelings or moments, nor does it depend on conditions. It is a bond that transcends all of that. It is spiritual, rooted in something timeless. And the moment you begin to recognize this, you also begin to understand the deeper implications of your relationship, your connection. There's a difference between loving someone because of what they bring to your life and loving someone because, at a soul level, you are drawn to them without reason, without explanation. It's a love that goes beyond personal need. It's a recognition that your paths were meant to cross, that your lives were meant to intertwine. It's as if you've known this person in some other realm, in another lifetime, and now, in this moment, you are reunited. But there's also something incredibly humbling about this realization, because it asks you to surrender. It asks you to let go of your need to control how things unfold. When you meet someone who is meant to be with you, you don't have to force it. You don't have to figure out the how or the why, it simply is. It's a profound kind of trust that the universe, God, fate, or whatever you wish to call it, is guiding you toward this person, toward this experience, toward this that. There is peace in that. There is freedom in allowing yourself to fall into something greater than you. You stop worrying, you stop questioning, and you simply allow yourself to be. The other thing that often comes with this recognition is a deep sense of responsibility, not just toward the other person, but toward yourself. When you meet someone who is meant for you, they are not only your partner, but also your mirror. They will show you parts of yourself that you've ignored, avoided, or simply never seen before. This is not always comfortable. There will be moments of discomfort, moments when you face truths about yourself that are hard to accept. But it is through this discomfort that you grow. And it is this growth that deepens your connection, allowing you both to evolve into the people you were always meant to be. But the real beauty of it is that through this growth you begin to understand the true meaning of love. It's not about being perfect or even happy all the time. It's about accepting each other fully, flaws and all and allowing each other to evolve. It's about being a witness to each other's transformation, supporting one another as you each move through life's challenges. Love in its truest form is about acceptance, about trust, and about recognizing that even in your differences there is a unifying force that binds you together. This is the kind of love that does not fade with time. It does not crumble under pressure. It does not wane with distance or disagreement. It is constant, ever present, even when the world around you changes. When you are connected to someone at the soul level, that connection cannot be broken by the trivialities of life. You may face challenges, you may experience hardships, but that bond, the one that is created through trust, understanding, and shared growth, remains unshaken. So as you go through life, know this: the relationships that matter most are not those that come easily, nor are they the ones you can force. The most profound relationships are the ones that find you, that come to you in ways you couldn't have imagined, when you least expected. These are the relationships that transcend the ordinary, that are divinely orchestrated, and that are meant to last. And when you encounter such a connection, you will know it. You will feel it deep within you. You will understand that this is not just a meeting of two individuals, but a meeting of two souls destined to walk together on this journey. In the end, you realize that this is what love truly is: a connection that transcends the physical world, a recognition of the divine in another person, and a deep understanding that together you are meant to become one. There comes a time in every relationship, and perhaps in every life, when the true depth of connection becomes undeniable. You begin to realize that the bond you share with another person is not just based on what you see or feel on the surface. It is something much more profound, something that transcends the ordinary experiences we often attribute to love. It's as if the universe, or whatever higher force you may believe in, has conspired to bring you together with this individual, not for fleeting reasons, but for a much greater purpose. And here's the thing: this recognition doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't come with a sudden flash of light or some grand revelation. It often creeps in gradually, quietly. It's subtle at first, like a thread weaving its way through your life. You might not even notice it in the beginning, but the more you let yourself sink into the relationship, the more you start to feel it. It's the understanding that your paths, no matter how different, no matter the distance between you, were always destined to cross. When you're in a relationship with someone who is truly meant for you, it feels as if you are continuously pulled toward them, not by force or will, but by an unseen force. You feel it deep within you, like an undeniable truth that exists beyond rational thought. It's the feeling that no matter how much time or space separates you, you will always find your way back to each other. The connection doesn't rely on circumstances. It doesn't bend to the whims of the world around you. It remains constant. At first, this might sound unsettling. How can something that is so certain also feel so unpredictable? Isn't love supposed to be easier? Isn't it supposed to be simple? But the truth is, when we're truly connected to another soul, things become infinitely more complicated. And yet, paradoxically, they also become more straightforward. This is because when you recognize that someone is meant for you, there's an understanding that goes beyond any earthly limitation. But the relationship doesn't just serve you, it serves both of you, and something much greater. It is a catalyst for your personal evolution. And here lies the beauty of it. As much as we may want to cling to our sense of individuality, true love requires surrender. It requires us to let go of our need for control. It asks us to trust not just the other person, but the process itself. We often think that in a relationship it's about two people coming together to build something, to create something. And while that's true, what's equally important is the idea of surrendering, of allowing the relationship to shape us in ways that we might not have anticipated. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that a relationship is something that should meet all of your needs. But when you start to recognize that this relationship is not just for you, it's for both of you to grow, to transform, and to evolve, you begin to see it in a new light. The ups and downs, the challenges and the triumphs, they are not obstacles. They are part of the larger unfolding process of becoming who you are meant to be. This doesn't mean that the relationship won't have its challenges. In fact, quite the opposite is true. The deeper the connection, the more likely it is that you'll encounter moments that force you to confront your own limitations. This person will hold a mirror up to you, often in ways that feel uncomfortable, showing you parts of yourself you may have never known existed, parts that might not be easy to accept. But here's the beauty: it's through facing these uncomfortable truths that you come to understand who you really are and how much deeper your love for the other person can go. You begin to realize that love is not about perfection, it is about understanding, acceptance, and mutual growth. You see, the deeper the connection, the more it demands of you, and it demands the very best version of yourself. It asks you to strip away the layers of fear, insecurity, and self-doubt. It asks you to be open and vulnerable, to share in the experience of being fully human. But in doing so, it also brings out your most authentic self. You begin to show up in the relationship, not as a version of yourself that is constantly trying to meet expectations, but as someone who is willing to be raw and real, to step into the fullness of who you are and who you are becoming. And when you both do this, when both partners allow the relationship to transform them, the connection between you deepens exponentially. It's as if the universe itself is guiding you both, helping you shed the illusions and attachments that you once clung to, allowing you to experience love in its purest form. This is the love that is not about possession, not about ownership, but about shared transformation. Ultimately, when you recognize that your connection with another person is part of something larger, something more profound than you can comprehend, it changes the way you experience love. It ceases to be something that you have to chase or control. Instead, it becomes something that simply is. You are no longer two separate individuals, but two souls united in a dance that transcends time and space. This love, this bond, will carry you through life's challenges. And no matter where you go or what you face, you will always find your way back to one another. And this is the truth that will carry you both through life. Your love, your connection, is meant to be. And when you embrace that, you are no longer afraid of what the future may hold. Because when you are meant for each other, no force on this earth can ever keep you apart. You see, when you accept that the person you are meant to be with is truly meant for you, something changes in the way you view the entire concept of relationships. No longer is it a matter of timing, of convenience, or of circumstances. No longer are you seeking external validation to feel whole, or relying on another to fill the gaps within yourself. You realize that the person who is meant for you is not just an individual who fits into your life, but a soul that is deeply entwined with your own. This connection goes beyond the superficial desires that so often drive us beyond the longing for companionship or affection. It transcends even the idea of finding someone in the first place. In truth, it is less about searching for the right person and more about recognizing the right person when they appear in your life. This revelation isn't always easy to come to, and it may be frightening at first. You see, there's an inherent uncertainty in recognizing that someone is your destined partner. We live in a world where we are constantly told that we must control our fate, manipulate our circumstances, and make the right decisions in order to succeed. And yet the spiritual truth of the matter is that when it comes to love, the more we try to control it, the further we seem to get from experiencing its full depth. Love is not about control. It is about surrender. Surrendering to the truth that the right person will enter your life at the right moment, and that you will be exactly who you are supposed to be in that relationship. When you realize that the person you are meant to be with is part of something much greater than just the two of you, it becomes easier to let go of expectations. You no longer feel the need to force things to make them happen according to your timeline or on your terms. Instead, you trust in the natural unfolding of your connection. You begin to understand that the journey you're on with this person is not just about reaching some end goal, but about the process itself. Each moment, each interaction, holds meaning and purpose that transcends the small scope of your day-to-day experience. It's not about looking for a perfect relationship, because perfection itself is an illusion. What matters is the willingness to embrace imperfection, to work through challenges, and to continue growing together. In a relationship where both partners recognize that they are meant for one another, it becomes a space for healing, for growth, and for self-discovery. It's a partnership that reflects the highest aspects of both individuals. It asks you to evolve, to break free from the limitations of your past, and to embrace the fullness of who you are. But what about the difficulties that inevitably arise along the way? After all, no relationship is without its struggles. And yet it is through these struggles that you begin to realize the true depth of your bond. The trials that test your patience, your understanding, and your resilience are not obstacles to be avoided. They are opportunities to learn, to grow, and to come closer to the person you are destined to be with. The very challenges that may seem to pull you apart are, in fact, the things that ultimately strengthen your connection. They allow you to see each other not as idealized versions of yourselves, but as real, imperfect beings who are walking this journey together. In this sense, the struggles become part of the dance of love and life. Instead of fearing these challenges, you learn to face them with an open heart, knowing that they will pass and that your connection will only deepen in the process. You come to understand that love is not about avoiding pain or conflict, but about embracing them as a natural part of the human experience. Through this, you develop a profound sense of trust, not just in your partner, but in life itself. You trust that whatever happens, your connection will endure. But as you journey deeper into this partnership, you begin to recognize something beautiful and profound. The relationship becomes a mirror that reflects your highest potential and helps you see your own reflection more clearly. It doesn't just show you the best parts of yourself, but the hidden, perhaps darker parts as well. It's in the mirror of this relationship that you are confronted with your fears, your insecurities, your doubts, and it is in confronting them, rather than running from them, that you both grow stronger. This is where the idea of soulmates comes into play. When you meet the person you are truly meant to be with, there is an unmistakable recognition. Not in the sense of a dramatic moment of revelation, but in a quiet, unspoken understanding. It's the feeling that you have always known this person on some deeper level. You realize that you were not brought together by chance, but by a force far greater than the individual choices you make. The universe, the divine, whatever you choose to call it, has orchestrated this connection for a reason. And you begin to understand that this connection is not merely about the relationship between the two of you, but about the larger purpose it serves in your individual journeys. At this point, you are no longer concerned with the superficial aspects of love, the fleeting moments of passion, the words that are said, or even the grand gestures of affection. Instead, love becomes something far more profound. It becomes a force that transforms you, a force that pulls you toward becoming your best self. In the presence of your destined partner, you begin to experience what it means to be truly alive, to be truly in love, and to be truly at peace with yourself. And in that peace, you realize that the journey is not about what happens at the end. It's about the unfolding process of discovery, connection, and growth. This is not just a love story. It's a spiritual journey, one that will continue to evolve and deepen, leading you both to greater understanding, greater fulfillment, and ultimately to the realization that love in its purest form is eternal. In the end, it is not the destination that matters, it is the experience of walking this path together, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. And that, perhaps, is the greatest gift of all. When you begin to realize that the person you are meant to be with is not just a partner, but a reflection of a deeper spiritual connection, you also understand that love is not simply an emotion, but a journey. The path of love, of being with the one you are meant for, is a path of self-discovery. You begin to see that it's not just about sharing experiences with someone else, but about becoming the fullest version of yourself through that relationship. But this is where many people get confused. They think love is about finding someone who will complete them, someone who will heal their wounds, someone who will fill the gaps in their hearts. But the truth is, love isn't about completion. It's about unfolding, growing, and expanding into who you truly are. The person who is meant for you is not a cure for what's missing in your life. They are a catalyst for your growth. They are the mirror that reflects parts of you that you may have never truly seen before. They are the force that challenges your beliefs, pushes you beyond your comfort zone, and encourages you to let go of the parts of yourself that no longer serve you. And it is through this process of growth that you begin to understand the deeper meaning of why you were drawn to one another in the first place. At first, it may seem as though love is something that happens to you, a force that takes over your life and sweeps you away. But as you grow within that relationship, you realize that love is not something that just happens. It is something that you actively create every single day. It's a dance, an ongoing process of choosing each other, of learning and adapting to one another's needs, of giving and receiving in equal measure. It's not always easy. In fact, there will be times when you'll find yourselves questioning whether the connection's truly meant to be. You might face challenges that seem insurmountable, and there may be moments of doubt, of fear, of uncertainty. But it's precisely in those moments that you have the opportunity to grow even more. You see, the spiritual meaning of love isn't about avoiding challenges or seeking comfort. It's about facing life's difficulties with courage, with compassion, and with the understanding that every challenge is an opportunity for deeper connection. When you experience hardship with someone who is truly meant for you, you begin to see the relationship not as something that's fragile or temporary, but as something that is rooted in the deepest truths of your being. It's in the moments of struggle that love reveals its true power. For love at its core is not about perfection. It is not about finding someone who never disappoints you, never hurts you, never lets you down. It's about finding someone who can hold space for you when you're at your lowest, someone who can help you rise when you've fallen, someone who can see you for who you truly are, even when you can't see it yourself. This is the essence of true love, the unconditional acceptance of each other, flaws and all, and the unwavering commitment to grow together, no matter what life throws at you. Over time, you begin to realize that the person you are meant to be with isn't just a reflection of who you are in the present moment. They are a reflection of who you are becoming. They are a partner in your journey, not just through the ups and downs of life, but through the deep and transformative process of self-actualization. Through them, you begin to discover parts of yourself that you may have forgotten or never knew existed. You begin to see your potential, capacity for love, for growth, for joy, and for connection. And in turn, they begin to see the same in you. This is why love, when it is truly meant to be, is a force that transcends time and space. It isn't bound by the limitations of the physical world. It exists on a higher plane in the realm of the soul. And this connection, this bond, is unbreakable. Even when you are apart, even when life takes you in different directions, you are still connected. The love that you share is not just something that you feel, it is something that you feel, it is something that you are. It becomes part of your being, woven into the fabric of your soul. And when you finally come together, when you finally meet the person you are meant for, it's as though the entire universe conspires to bring you to that moment. It's a moment of recognition, of understanding, of knowing that you have been on a journey that led you both here. It's not about fate, not in the way that we often think of fate. It's not about a preordained script that you're both following. It's about alignment, about being in sync with each other's paths, about having the courage to step into the unknown and trust that everything will unfold as it is meant to. So when you find yourself in this kind of relationship, don't look for signs that confirm it's the right thing. Don't wait for the perfect conditions, the perfect timing, the perfect circumstances. Instead, surrender. To surrender to the experience. Surrender to the love that is unfolding before you. Know that if you are meant to be together, nothing can stand in the way of that truth. The universe will find a way to bring you together, and it will show you in its own way that the love you share is not just for this lifetime, it is eternal. And in that moment of surrender, you will realize that you are not two separate beings trying to make it work against all odds. You are two souls bound together by something much greater than your individual selves. You are two pieces of a greater puzzle, two aspects of the same divine energy experiencing life together. And that is where the true beauty of love lies. It isn't about the happy ending. It's about the journey, the shared experience of walking together in this vast and one wondrous universe, knowing that no matter what happens, you are exactly where you need to be. And that is enough. When we talk about the ultimate connection, we often think of it as something that is defined by time and circumstance. We think of it as something that begins at a particular moment, something that is marked by a beginning and an end. But the deeper truth about love and connection is that it is timeless. It exists beyond the confines of our linear understanding of time. The relationship you share with the one you are meant to be with is not something that is bound by earthly measures. It is part of a greater flow, a cosmic rhythm, that transcends everything we know. The idea of coming together implies that there was once a separation, that at some point you and this person were apart. But what if that separation was not truly a separation at all? What if it was simply a pause? A moment in the vastness of time when your paths needed to diverge so that you could learn, grow, and evolve before you could truly unite. What if this person, this partner, this love that you seek was never truly lost to you, but merely waiting for you to reach a certain point in your journey before you could recognize them for what they truly are? This concept of love is not bound by the limits of space or time. It is not about what happens in the moment. It is about the connection that runs deeper, that flows through every part of your being, that reaches back to the very beginning of your existence and extends far into the future. It is the unbroken thread that runs through all your experiences, all relationships, and all the moments that shape who you are. And when you meet the one you are meant to be with, it feels as though everything has been leading up to this moment. Not because it's the end of something, but because it is the beginning of something much greater than you could have imagined. In the process of coming together, there will be moments when it feels like everything is falling apart. There will be moments when you question everything you thought you knew. There will be doubts, fears, and challenges that arise, and you may wonder if this connection is truly what it's meant to be. But here's the thing, those moments are not signs that the connection isn't real. They are the very moments that prove it is real. But in those moments when the foundation feels shaky, when the ground feels unstable, you are being given the opportunity to build something stronger, something more lasting, something more authentic. When you go through difficulties together, when you face obstacles and come out the other side, your bond becomes unshakable. Love isn't about avoiding the tough moments, it's about facing them with grace, with trust, and with an unwavering belief in the power of what you share. It is about working together to overcome what life throws at you, and in doing so, discovering the depths of your strength, both as individuals and as a couple. As a couple, true love is not about living in a constant state of bliss, but about learning how to navigate the stormy seas with someone who is by your side, helping you stay afloat, even when the waves feel overwhelming. As you walk this path together, you will find that you don't just learn about the other person. You learn about yourself too. You will discover parts of yourself that you had long forgotten, parts of you that were hidden away, waiting to be seen, waiting to be nurtured. You will see your vulnerabilities, your insecurities, and your fears reflected in the eyes of the person you love, and you will be given the opportunity to heal those wounds, to release the past, and to grow into a stronger, more confident version of yourself. It is in this process of mutual growth that the true beauty of love reveals itself. It's not about finding someone who fits into the life you already built. It's about finding someone who challenges you to build a new life together, one that is more expansive, more fulfilling, and more in alignment with your truest self. It's about creating a future that is greater than the sum of its parts, where both of you bring your unique gifts, your individual strengths, and your shared dreams to the table. And together, you build something that is far greater than you could have ever imagined or known. And as you move forward in this journey, remember that the connection you share with this person is not fleeting. It's not something that is temporary or conditional. It is a bond that is eternal, that is woven into the fabric of your being. Even in times of distance, even in moments of separation, this bond remains. It may be hidden beneath the surface for a time, but it is always there, quietly waiting to be rediscovered, waiting for the right moment to resurface. This is why it is so important to trust the process, to trust that if this connection is truly meant to be, nothing can stand in its way. Not time, not distance, not circumstances, not even the doubts and fears that may arise along the way. Because when something is meant to happen, when something is truly destined, it will come together no matter what. And when you finally come together, it will feel as though everything that has ever happened in your life has led to that moment. You will know in that moment that you are not just two people who happen to meet. You are two souls who were always meant to find each other. This is the beauty of love, the power of true connection. It's not about the moment you meet, or the first time you hold hands, or the first time you kiss. It's about the journey you take together, the lessons you learn, the growth you experience, and the deep, unwavering understanding that you are exactly where you are meant to be. And when you realize this, when you embrace this truth, you will understand that no matter what happens, no matter what challenges arise, you are never truly apart, because you are always meant to be.